All right, we are live. Sorry, I had a message come in right as we were starting. I needed to check on. Uh, welcome. So for most of y'all, it is nighttime right now. It's 9 a.m. over here on the Asia side of things. Uh, if you aren't on our deal list, we have a very cool deal that's been sent out right now. So be sure to text deals to that 58585 number that's on the screen. Nori is sending out, and Andrew has put together some info on deal. And then we have another deal that hopefully we'll be able to release. So these are just businesses that can be bought. They're all very profitable. We only do deals that are SBA pre-approved, and this is a chance for you to get them before it's just like completely advertised. So be sure to check that out if you're not already on the list. If you are on the list, then you probably have already started to receive that deal. If you're interested in it, just reach back out. We'll get you signed an NDA, and then we'll get into some details on it. Also, if you, was basically church announcements a bit before we get into today's topic, but if you're a part of Patreon, we just uploaded the step-by-step process on the 50,000 in 2 week strategy that we went over here a couple weeks ago. So we did that webinar. We had some live folks there that showed up, and then they kind of asked questions. That's always, I think, the best way to do it, just because you get to make sure, because, if you've already done something, sometimes you don't know what you're missing as far as the instructions. They ask some really great questions, so we're able to dig into details. Bigger than that, that's something that for the Patreons, I'm going to be doing on a monthly basis. So we'll be discussing kind of new strategies. I kind of went over and teased in that webinar the strategy that we'll be talking about next month. But what I realize is in a lot of these businesses, some of the strategies that we use to basically grow a business, we are essentially side hustles. So we figure out all of these different things, and then we're testing things. So, even with one of the recent deals, I was talking to the two leads that are the general partners and of two different funds that are running this business. And what we do over this period is we take this asset, and we have the employees, we have everybody that's kind of their agencies and partners and suppliers and all that. We look at all the assets and we try to figure out, all right, what can we do to add to the bottom line of this business? And then we go out and we test a bunch of things. So that was the case in that general contractor case, but we're doing that across a lot of different businesses. And that's how I learned, oh, wow, this is this huge opportunity. So in that case, we kind of saw this $50,000 in a couple week opportunity that anybody can do. And so, next month we'll be talking about another one of those strategies, which I am a very big fan of. And these are things that are underlooked. I guess overlooked. The really cool thing is, it's just, most of it is within my philosophy, which is you don't need some big, everybody's focused on trying to get the biggest audience and all of that. And, I'm just a very strong believer that the best opportunities are the ones that don't involve an audience, because everything that involves an audience, everybody's focused on. Gary Vee's preaching every single day to millions of wannabe entrepreneurs, every single possibility of what you could be doing with building an audience, because that's the business that he's in. So the exciting thing about that is those opportunities only represent this like less than 5% of businesses. When you look at, you can kind of look out over here and look at all of those huge buildings, literally as far as you can see. Literally as far as you can see. And the cool thing is, those businesses all over the world. That is the case. And those businesses were built by people that are not using social media, not trying to build the biggest audience ever. I love using the example of Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is making more money than all of us combined. If we could get 1% of what they're generating, our families will be rich forever. And they have, I have businesses that have more followers than they do. So what I try to get people to think about is like, oh, what are the 95% of things? And in the US, it's very interesting. Like entrepreneurship has become synonymous with trying to be an influencer. So I'm delivering those. So if you're not a part of Patreon, be sure to join. We're going to have that series. That recording is of the webinars up. We're going to have all of these opportunities where there's just massive amounts of wealth by ignoring what the mainstream, and this is just the case with anything. Anytime the mainstream agrees on something, the opportunity is somewhere else. All right, so let's jump in, do a couple comments, and we'll get rolling. The Luck Show. What's up, homie? It says, Ace, come on, man. We're all trying to live like you, moving around the globe. Much love. Appreciate your contribution. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming. And you all can. So we're gonna make sure everybody's moving around this way. I really do think that that's the future. Melvin Menendez popped in, says, yo, Ace, what's up, big guy? Thanks for popping in. All right, so let's talk about today's topic. Today, I want to talk about what are the easiest acquisitions to make. As some of y'all know, I was just in Denver speaking to a group of entrepreneurs. Basically, it's an organization, and you have to be doing over $1 million just to be there. So it's people that own really large businesses. So, I got a couple folks that are going to come that I'm going to interview here. One guy's done over 300 million in M&A transactions. And a couple other folks, but we're pretty big players. And what I was talking about is growing your business through acquisitions. And one of the things that we do in funds is when we have a business, we're looking at everything that's in our expense column and we're trying to turn that into an asset. That's the power that you have as a deal maker. So if one of the examples that we had in Pathway One was we realized, okay, we've got this portfolio of businesses that are that we're paying for bookkeeping in each of those businesses. If we just go out and buy a bookkeeper, we're going to add instantly to that bookkeeper this amount of money by just pulling that money over. And it's basically a commodity. It's not like it gets a little more touchy in some things, which might be like agencies or something like that. When you're dealing with something like bookkeeping, it's just like it's a commodity. So we could easily find a business that could do just as good a job. We found that and basically double that business instantly. And so here's the real power: is if you can buy a business, you can buy that business at a 2 multiple, and then you can instantly double that business. You're simply buying it at a 1 multiple. It means you're going to get everything in that business back that month, in that year, and then you can turn around and sell that. Hopefully you're systemizing things so we can get things at a 3 multiple, but we're selling it at a 3 multiple. So you get the income from that business. In each of the businesses, in that case, that we own, we're saving that money. It increases the value of those businesses because we can give a discount if we want. And so you're able to make money a few different ways in that kind of transaction. But that's an example of what I think are the easiest acquisitions to make. So I want to break that down for y'all. Basically, if you are, even if you're starting a business, this is across the gamut. So if you're starting a business, you're, in a business that's already kind of growing and maybe it's not even at profitability yet, or you're a business that's been profitable forever, this strategy is very, very powerful because you want to look at everybody that you're have a relationship with. Another case for us was, we were sending as an affiliate some business to somebody who's really our advertiser, and we we were making money from them, and we basically went to them and said, "Hey, we're sending you a lot of leads, and we appreciate the money, but we, either want to do some equity with you, or maybe we're going to go somewhere else." And where we are doing a deal where we get some equity, or we just start something, a similar business ourselves, and then we own the whole thing, and we just send the leads to that business. So you're looking at everything that is kind of in the orbit of your business. So that's suppliers, that's people that you are doing business with, that or you're really the supplier. So people that you're supplying, clients, partners, advertisers with you, people that you're doing sponsors with. So it's like on both sides of the business, everybody that is necessary on the back end of your business. So that's the suppliers, people that are sending you leads, all the folks that are necessary for your business to be successful. And then on the other end, everybody that you're paying for things that you need in your business. And then kind of at the bottom is your customer base. So I've talked a lot before about, buying businesses that have our database of customers, because again, if I really don't like advertising. So I want to be able to buy the business, profit from that business, and then that business as a bonus has our customers. So this kind of orbit of businesses, everybody that you have a relationship, even if you're in a startup, everybody that you're trying to build a relationship with, one of the things that you might consider is, how can I do a deal with that business? And if it's somebody that you want to have that relationship with, you're trying to figure out, all right, how can I take some equity? Maybe we do an equity exchange. But in most cases, you want to try to negotiate a deal where, whatever you're providing for that business, if it is your service, it's like, hey, I'd love to do a equity and cash deal. Or if you're not providing necessarily a service, you've got to pay them for their service. You're like, hey, I'd love to pay you for this service, but if we're not I won't negotiate. This is one of the tactics that I will use. It's like, I'm not going to negotiate with the price with you on this. I'm going to pay your price, but I'd love to see us work long term together. And so if I agree to pay your price, instead of me negotiating, get a deal there, could I get a piece of your company? And what you're doing is building your balance sheet here, where, when you exit, you've got all of these assets that kind of come as a part of your business. The other thing, though, and we've seen this, and I kind of went through a case study. I'm speaking here in Bangkok in a couple of days, and one of the case studies that I'll be going over is this case where we start off with a deal like that of 10%. And we got that 10% for free. But then, because of some things going on with the partners, we ended up with 55% in control of the business and didn't have to pay anything up front for that either. The payment for that came out of the income of the business. So we end up with 55% of this business without paying a dollar up front. So those are the types of transactions that you want to consider. You want to look at everybody that you want to do business with, that you're currently doing business with right now, that may be a client or customer, that has your client or customer, and doing transactions where either you go and buy a similar business and send that business automatically to them and increase the valuation instantly, or you do a deal with the current relationship and you add into your negotiations some equity for that. All right. Let's do some questions. Feel free to pop in any questions, any of that. And we'll get out of here. I think, it's late for y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Binary, I believe, it popped in, says, been learning from you for years now. And it's funny, I'm tiling for business too now. I appreciate what you do. I'm not even going to attempt. No, I'll attempt. Kakunka. Kakunka is how I would say it based on the accent here. Thank you. I certainly appreciate. What part of Thailand are you in right now? Chap, look at everything in our expense column, try to turn it into an asset. Ace Chapman free. Yes, yes, yes. That is, I mean, if more people did that, it's so funny. So literally at this past talk in Denver, one of the attendees came up and people were kind of coming up like, oh, that's amazing talk, blah, blah, blah. And so this one guy comes up, he's like, that was painful. And first I was like, wait a minute, what? He's like, that was so painful. He's like, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about everybody over, oh, he was an older guy. It's like everybody over the like 40 years career where I could have been negotiating equity into our relationship and, just millions and millions of dollars left on the table. Yeah. So he was like literally looked like he was in pain thinking about it. But that's an important game changer for businesses. That last thing was free game. Free game. Yes, absolutely. Free game. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Don't forget to hit the like button. I forgot to ask at the beginning, but be sure to hit the like button. Thank you all for popping in. Bangkok. Awesome. I am in Bangkok. I'll be around this weekend doing some events and stuff. Feel free to hit me in on Instagram if you want to pop. I think I'm gonna do drinks on Friday with a bunch of folks. Right, we'll do a couple more. We'll bounce out of here. Melvin says, I would love to get my foot in the door with M&A. What program should I apply to of yours? So we have a couple of different things. So if you're looking at M&A, the number one thing I would recommend is Good Merger. So I would send a note to Nori at financierbank.com. You can also go to Big Good Merger and fill out the form there, which is a general form. We get other folks that are looking to sell their business and that kind of thing. But that has been an amazing program. We just got one of the brokers, we just got a $12 million listing, which is our largest listing there. And the really cool thing there is, you end up talking, in a transaction like that, like the commission like $500,000. So you're playing in a game. And if you're interested in M&A, that is M&A. That's what we do. So I would recommend Good Merger, and we can send the information. You can figure out if that's right. And then the other two are PEFI, which you go to acechapman.com, fill out a form, and or even if you text instead of deals, just text PEFI to that number. I'll pull that up. So text PEFI if you're interested in PEFI to 585 670-6609, 585-670-6609, and we can get you applied for that. We've got the next PEFI that is starting up that will be very exciting. It's going to be in partnership with Empire Flippers. So if any of y'all are familiar with Empire, we're partnering with them on the fund. It's something we've been working out, and actually one of the meetings I'm going to have while I'm here in Asia is wrapping up the final pieces of what that's going to look like. But a very exciting PEFI. I think some of y'all have followed along. I stopped in the middle of PEFI 6 because I realized that we could make the program basically a lot better. And so this is part of that. Cool. We'll do this last one for Melvin and then we'll bounce. Melvin, I dabbled on my own visiting sellers. Okay, at their facility tax session. I would love to apply for Good Merger and PEFI. Great. So reach out on both of those. Good Merger, feel free to go to the website, goodmerger.com, and Ace Chapman, or send a note to that number. All right. Thank y'all for popping in. Everybody have a good night over there in the US. And let me know in the comments who's going to apply this strategy to your business. Talk soon.